I can't feel my face. What's going on with you, man? Down at In Sports Talk in the buildings Tuesday night. It's about 8:15. And if you need a time check, that's what time it is, 8:15. This is RM Desk right here, aka Left-Handed. That's YADABEAR over there. Um, we have some very disturbing news to start off the show with. Um, Club 8-0 has been closed permanently. I don't know if the inspectors was paid off. They overlooked some stuff. They underlooked some stuff. But all we know is that the Philadelphia Eagles has left the building.
Yeah.
Literally. And we're gonna have YADABEAR Phillies in the building, of course, to explain
Always.
the situation.
It's nothing to explain. We all seen what happened, We finally
nothing to explain.
Listen,
right. Yeah,
everybody been hoping and praying each week,
week
after week, hoping that this is the week that the Eagles finally lose. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be this week? Well, it was last night. Okay, so now y'all can stop asking that question. When will the Eagles lose?
Look at this.
They lost. Okay, they lost to a bad team.
A bad team with no name.
A bad team with no name, with a whole lot of controversy going on their end. But we came out not our best. We had a problem that has been an ongoing problem week after week that we have seen develop, which is our run defense.
Right.
And what Washington did, they was able to zone in on that. And it wasn't like they was, taking off with 10, 15 chunk yard plays. It was 3 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here. They was able to convert on third and shorts. They was able to convert on fourth and shorts, and we just couldn't stop the run. That's what beat us, was the run game beat us. And terrible turnovers, fumbling the ball. Quez Watkins, I don't know what happened to him. It's like Jalen Hurts made a perfect throw. He caught the ball, falls, get up to run, and just didn't secure the ball and got it knocked out from the back. Fumble here. And then let's not even talk about the biggest blown call in the history of this season so far. Like, I don't care if you hate the Eagles, love the Eagles, the biggest Washington fan or the biggest Washington hater, but for just a football fan point of view, when you see a call like that that's blatantly in your face,
like a can of mace, baby,
blatantly in your face, that not only did you miss on the field, but then you go to review what happened afterward. The cause of a fumble is because of the face mask, and you still do not call the face mask. But you can see where he got touched when he was down. You saw the little sliver of Eagles jersey touch him, to call him down right there. But you didn't see this guy have a fistful of dollars, got a face mask, pulling him to the turf face first. Mind blowing. It was like, what? Like, Stevie Wonder could have seen that. Ray Charles could have seen that. But the guys, the zebras on the field, the zebras in the booth, the zebras in New York who's reviewing all the plays, somehow everybody overlooked that. It's it gives you it comes off very suspect, but at the end of the day, we should never give these officials that much power that one call could ruin the whole game. So yes, we took a L yesterday. It's okay. It's only one loss, and we move on to the next week because the goal of this season is not to be undefeated. That's not the goal. The goal is to win the Super Bowl. So if y'all goal is to be undefeated, that's great. More power to y'all. But in my eyes, the goal is to have a deep playoff run and make it to the Super Bowl. So you guys can enjoy, all y'all Eagles haters, y'all can enjoy these next couple of days, have y'all party, have your whole little hate fest online, but just remember, your team didn't beat us.
Look at
I
this.
just want y'all to know that, so y'all can continue to hate.
How did
But
I got one question.
go ahead.
How they gonna get the grease off the poles?
Oh, well, the greasy look that
How you
grease
gonna get
ass
the
kid
grease off
from
the poles?
all this rain. Look, they just leave it up there and let nature take care of it.
That nature take care of, no doubt. I mean, again, um, everything, it happens like that, man. People, they get caught. The Miami Dolphins are celebrating. Larry Zonka was, online talking greasy. Another, glass of champagne. So they got another year of being the greatest, football team ever. But again, this was a platform where it was all, out there for them to, kind of like put their stamp on the early part of the season. Washington football team came in again with nothing to lose,
Yeah.
everything to gain. I like Taylor Heineke. I like him. He's done some things. I don't think he's going to be the next coming of Billy Kilmer or Joe Theismann or nothing like that. But I think that he fits in where he's at with his squad, and he played some smart ball last night. And again, you can't win if you don't have the ball.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly
40
that
minutes
is,
to 20 minutes, that, kind of, that tells it. But then also you can't win if you keep turning the ball over.
that's true. Listen, we
So,
turned the ball over 3 times the whole season so far. We have 4 turnovers last night.
right.
You know, I
So,
I would say 3 because, like I said, that face mask that was just horrendous officiating at that point. Like,
and I agree with you. I
and
definitely
so
agree with you.
so
Somebody
I
needs to
don't even look
talk
at
to that
that
guy.
as a fumble. I looked at it as a terrible blown call that resulted in a turnover that should never happen. Like, they can review so many other plays and overturn the, like, it's just, you get a roughing the passer call, but the ball got picked off. They review it, overturn the interception, and then give you the 15 yards for the roughing the passer. So what happened last night? Why couldn't that call get overturned? Because the reason why this guy fumbled is because this man has a fistful of his face mask, as if the same way as the reason why this quarterback threw a pick is because the D lineman came straight and, like, knocked his head off.
Right.
So like I said, it was ridiculous, but I'm not here to bitch and moan and cry about it. Blah blah blah. We lost, and now everybody can stop asking that question. When is the Eagles going to lose?
And no, it wasn't nobody asking no questions.
Oh,
It wasn't
it
nobody
was.
asking no questions. They was going to lose. You know what I mean? They're going to probably end up like what, 14-3, 13-4, something like that. This is
Something like that.
this is the conundrum that the Yankees had when they were 72-18.
Yeah, it's
You know
like,
what I mean? Like, you're supposed to win
quarterback
120 games. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you end up winning 99. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
like,
again, this is not an indictment on the Eagles season. The season is not over. Don't jump out the window, get off the
yeah,
ledge. You know what I mean?
Down.
Right.
It's
And I
only
think
one
that
game.
absolutely. So
And
this
we all know it's a division game. So none of these division games are looked at as cakewalks because we know how we get down in the NFC East. It
right.
doesn't matter who's on the field. We play each other hard. I feel like we play each other the hardest than we play anybody else in the league when
That
it comes
sounds
to
that
these,
I'll buy that. I'll buy that because those games are big
compared to these
games.
division
Absolutely.
games.
Absolutely.
These these division games are are playoff games to us.
And
That's how hard we go at it because
let
we
me say
want.
this. Let me say this right now. Well, what are we now? Week 10?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, how can we not talk about the AFC West?
because the
You know what I'm
AFC.
saying, Kate? I mean, why are we not? We're supposed to be, the AFC West, every game in that division is going to be must-see TV, and every team is
Nope.
going to be doing this, and every team is going to be doing that, but it's the NFC East.
Yep. That's giving them must see TV
Right.
because they always look at us as the NFC least because
But that's only been recent, though, in the last like 5-7 years, though. Yeah, because that division is a beast. You already know. So these
yeah,
are these new
but
Jacks.
when you look from outside, they always I feel like the rest of the league looks down on the NFC East. Any the
I don't know
league,
why. I don't know why, Yada, because every team in that division got a Super Bowl.
but that's how it is. The league, I feel like the league and all of these sports experts that's out there that's on ESPN and FS1. When you start talking about the NFL season and they break down division, we're always the last of it. Even though they all ride the Cowboys jock all the time, they still talk about the NFC East the least and at the last. They never give us no respect like that because they always look at us as we want to barely hit 500 or whoever or only one team going to come out of the division, or it's only a one or maybe two team race. They never look at us as a whole like how they was all jock in the AFC West. Oh, this is like you said, every game going to be like prime time. Every game. And now we're looking at it as like, well, the Raiders are a bust. The Broncos are a bust. And guess who else is a bust that has a winning record? The Chargers.
Chargers.
I was telling my friend the other day, I said the Chargers is like the only team in the NFL right now that has a winning record, but are a bad team. They're a bad team with a winning record, which is crazy because they have nobody. Everybody's always hurt. Keenan Allen is always hurt. I don't understand why they have not moved on from this guy. Every season he's hurt. And it's not like he's hurt for 1 or 2 games. He's hurt for half the season or the whole season. It's one or the other. It's like he's going to give you half the year or he's going to miss the entire year. And then, in the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about Justin Herbert. Half the time, you don't remember Justin Herbert played. It's like, is Justin Herbert hurt? Did he play today? Yeah, he played. No, he's not injured. You don't know it because the Chargers are bad.
Yep.
And the only team that's truly respectable and dangerous is still the Chiefs.
Still, it's Kansas City, right?
It's still the Chiefs. So that's how I feel about that.
My Buccaneers went over to Germany, had some Wiener Schnitzel, some pretzels, and some Heinekens, and handled their business. But as we all know, as we've been talking for the last, at least this particular season right here, that every game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it might be first quarter 27-0, and then the first quarter, yeah, go ahead, go shopping, go food shopping, go on that walk in the park, take that Sunday drive, do what you do. Because by the time you come back with 5 minutes left in the game, it's going to be a nail biter, and you're going to wonder what the hell happened. Every game gets turned into that. Tom Brady did what he needed to do. Julio Jones showed up.
Yeah, Julio Jones
You know what I
sighting.
mean? He made a rare appearance.
Yeah.
And you know, we look kind of decent. Geno Smith reverted to Geno Smith form. We were talking during the
Jets.
game. Yeah, and you know, he kind of gave the game back up with a couple of, you know, plays that you don't expect him to make. But again, that kind of like separates the guys from, you know, the guys who know you're going to come through versus the guys who you hope come through versus the guys where you don't know what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, as opposed to a Geno Smith who was playing kind of above his head out in Seattle, nobody was paying attention until they really started getting busy and they started putting it on Geno. Now, you know, the spotlight's on you. How my man say, it's shine time. You know what I mean?
They start talking that contract talk. When they start
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look what happened.
You start taking daydreams to Jacob the jeweler,
right?
And the Maserati car lot. You know what I mean? Instead of focusing on next week's opponent.
Yeah, that's so funny. The coincidence of that. They start talking about him possibly getting a contract with Seattle and then go to Germany and he stinks up the place. Mm-hmm. They look like, you know, Geno of the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know, so I mean, life comes at you fast, and you just have to, you know, do what you need to do and do what you prepare to do. But you know, are we back? People talk about, oh, Buccaneers are back. Back from where? Back to do what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, you win a game that you know you're supposed to win. But the way they were talking about this game, the Bucs put themselves in that position, right? You know, I don't want to, you know, play the blame game and, you know, say, well, it was Tom Brady he was going through. He was. Simple. But everybody else on the team wasn't going through that.
Shoot,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so Mike Evans wasn't going through that when he was dropping the passes and wide open bombs that Tom Brady was throwing to him.
Your defense wasn't going through that because
I'm saying Devin White wasn't going through that.
One step.
That secondary damn sure wasn't going through it. Maybe they might have the way they played.
Look, Warren Sapp put the defense on blast. He said, "Take that C off your chest."
Like, I mean,
that. I said, "Oh well."
Like Warren Sapp to me is the wrong dude. What up, Shorty? He's the wrong dude to say anything. I don't really consider him, you know, buck material. He's just a dude that got a ring with my team. But at the end of the day, you know, Devin White, you know, respect to him because he had to get on a plane to Germany, even though, you know, just finding out that his pops had passed.
Yeah.
So that was difficult for him. He made the trip. He balled out. So salute to Devin White. Salute to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, for handling their business and doing their numbers. And again, I think that we still have to, you know, finish out the season strong. We're about where we need to be for losses, right? So 5-5, we're milk toast, we're regular, we're plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? We're unsalted potato chips. That's what we are, Kimmy. You know what I mean? We unsalted potato chips, yo. We ain't got no flavor. We ain't got nothing going on, and that's real talk, Yada. That's real talk, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Look, y'all bye week came at a perfect time, you know.
At the perfect time. And Todd Bowles, I know he was like, woo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know he was the most excited for this one because it kind of pushed that fire. It pushed that fire away from his feet a little bit more, you know, pushed it away a little bit more.
Yep.
But let's speak like fire. Like, did you hear about this Broncos player? He's a linebacker that he's suing the NFL and SoFi because he tore his ACL at SoFi in October. And now the big debate that's going around the NFL amongst the players and some of the staff is stadiums should have grass.
They've been talking about that for a long time. And
I feel as though they should have had natural grass.
They should have been had it all of them. And I think that it's sad that it takes people to blow their ACLs and stuff out like that for them to kind of come to the realization, like, man, look, you know what I mean? It's nothing under there, but that's nothing but green concrete.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
and
Basically, you know what I'm
listen,
saying? So
we all know the stories of the old vet stadium. How they just say it was like playing on concrete out there. We have seen people careers almost ruined for playing there. And I have always been a firm believer that these stadiums should have natural grass. You have the money for it.
you have the money, you have the personnel, you have the technology. So what's the problem?
What's the issue? I
You
don't
know,
know.
I, I think that sometimes it's an aesthetic issue. You know what I mean? They like the clean look of the turf, not even taking into consideration what it does to the product on the field. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Football's a dirty sport. Supposed to be dirty.
Right.
Supposed to be
But
dirty.
also, football is a sport that in December and January is played in the snow and in the rain and in the mud and in the this and in the that.
Exactly.
You can't run in an artificial turf stadium and run and get your cleat or your turf shoe caught in the seam, right?
Yeah.
And there you go. Your career is done. You're
Yep.
out. So again, I believe I'm a big believer in grass fields for all, like baseball, football, all that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you could play college basketball on a naval aircraft carrier,
Why
you
can't we
could
get
have
natural grass?
grass. You could have grass in all these stadiums. I don't want to hear shit. You could have
Exactly.
grass in all these stadiums.
If you could
Absolutely.
convert a basketball court to a hockey state, like to a hockey
Rocky rink, right?
stadium,
In
then
hours. That's
yes,
right.
within hours. Why can't
Hours.
you have natural grass in these football stadiums? That
Right.
it is mind blowing to me. So I definitely agree. I hope they make a change and get it done in all the stadiums. I don't see how and why any of these owners will oppose to that. I don't see why not. Just do it.
I don't see why not either. But you look at, I mean, these newer stadiums, and again, like even what is it, Allegiant out there in Vegas. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? You have these places out there where it's hot. You know what I mean, and it might not get that much rain or whatever. No, 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 no.
You can
They
control
can
that.
moist. They can take care. Yeah, they can take care of that. It's self-contained.
Yeah, they
Because
can
I see
control that.
these fields, some of these fields, they got the parts of the
You got
field.
retractable
They can,
roofs.
got wheels under it. Like
Yeah,
you
like come
can
on
kind of
now.
move it around, and like, what is this?
And then most of those stadiums out there, they got the retractable roofs, so you
Yeah.
can
Anyway,
close it off.
put that to use. That's right.
Yes, like just get it done. Like
Yeah.
bring out the grass.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yes, the grass. Speaking of the grass, all right. Yes,
they should have
grass. Word to the grass. Tonight I wanted to talk a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit college basketball in because tonight Champions Classic, Duke and Kansas. Shout out to Mike Krzyzewski. Again, this is gonna be the first time that I watched Duke. I think since I've really been on college basketball like that without Coach K. You know what I mean? Not that that's
I never witnessed a college basketball season without them. I was thinking about that earlier today when I was because the Kentucky and Michigan State's playing right now, and
right.
they were talking about Duke, and I'm like, wait a minute, and it blew my mind. I forgot that Coach K isn't coaching no more. He retired. I said, I never watched a Duke game that Coach K wasn't on the sideline coaching.
Right.
I
That's
never
right.
watched it. This is the first time ever that I have seen that in my life. That's crazy.
And that ain't no hyperbole, y'all. That's because you know how y'all like to. Well, that's the first time, the best thing I ever seen in my life. And no. This is
the
actual
first
fact.
time.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
When you think
Yeah.
of Duke basketball, the coach is always Coach K. And
And go ahead. Go ahead.
no, and I was gonna say, and just to think of the pressure of having to be the coach that replace him, to sit in that seat, that's a lot of pressure for a person
Yeah.
because everything that you do, they're going to compare you to Coach K. Everything, and God forbid that they don't win their conference or they don't make a deep run in the tournament. They're gonna point all their finger at the coach.
Yeah, I mean, John Shire. I mean, he has the advantage of knowing those kids, being there. He's not just stepping in fresh off the boat, which is
Mm-hmm.
advantage. But like you were saying, it's the first time for you. That's that's
Yeah.
wild because we sat and I've watched North Carolina play without Dean Smith. Houston play without Guy Lewis. Miami, UCLA playing without John Wooden, but that's way back.
Mm-hmm.
Joby Hall at Kentucky. When you talk about a Duke like Mike Krzyzewski, Michigan State with Judd Heathcote before Izzo got there.
Yeah.
And even when you have little eras like with North when and Dean first left, you
Yeah.
had Guffridge, you had Matt Doherty, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
again, but those guys, the Lou Carnesecas of St. John's,
Mm-hmm.
John Thompson in
John
Georgetown.
Thompson, yeah, George,
And we still watching Jim Boeheim in Syracuse.
Jim Behanson in
Still watching
Syracuse.
him.
You still got Gino up at University of Connecticut with the
Yeah.
women's
Yep.
side.
Yep. That's right. That's
You
right.
know, he
Mm-hmm.
like it's gonna be weird whenever he retired. Like when geez, I can't think of her name now. University of Tennessee, their former women's
Oh, Pat
Pat
Summit.
Summit.
Rest in
When,
peace.
Pat
Mm-hmm.
Summit stepped down, it was like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
when C. Vivian Stringer stepped down
Yeah.
from
Rutgers,
Rutgers,
right.
it was like, what? Like this is crazy. Like these are women and men who I've seen at these universities
That's all you
for
know. Right.
decades.
Right. Right.
Like my whole lifetime, growing up as a kid, watching college basketball as an adult, these are figures that been in these positions all this time, and now seeing Coach K not sitting on that sideline, love him or hate him, you know, you got people who love Duke, you got people who hate Duke, people who love Coach K, people who hate Coach K. But at the end of the day, you still had Coach K on the sideline. So yeah, that's going to be
Yeah.
weird.
And
It's weird.
something else that was bugging me out, I was looking at some stuff for women's college basketball. And the women are doing as much transferring as the men.
Yes.
Like it's crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean it's just the way of the world. But I think that women's college basketball and I want to salute that. It's big time. They
Yes.
deserve everything that the men get. No
Definitely.
questions asked, no holds barred, none of that monkey shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you have women's college basketball that is driving the interest and bringing the rate of I guess participation is the right word I'm looking for, is that
Mm-hmm.
those stadiums and arenas and gymnasiums are filled.
Oh,
They're
they
not
are.
like just
Oh, they
25
filled.
people in there watching the women's game no more.
Listen.
And they're not calling it girls basketball no more.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
women.
Women. Yeah. It's hard getting um women's college basketball tickets. It's hard to get a
Oh
Temple
yeah?
women's basketball ticket. Oh, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Like you gotta get
Yeah, I
there.
know somebody.
You gotta know somebody, or you gotta get there as soon as they available. Like it's
Right.
hard. Like
Wow.
before, like a couple years ago, you can go to Leah's Course and go right to the box office. Boom, get a ticket.
Right.
Go to a game real quick. Now it's
Right.
like you gotta get there because, like you said, these stadiums, these arenas for women's college basketball are now packed. The
Just right.
I mean,
That's
as
right.
we've been talking about it, for the past couple of months, the growth, the development um, of women's basketball on all levels has
Mm-hmm.
proved so much. From the WNBA, college, even
High
Olympic,
school, AAU, right? All that.
yes,
Yes,
and even like in
absolutely.
the Olympics, because now you're getting more, you're getting some traction with foreign players who,
Mm-hmm.
even though they make more money overseas, they still like to play in USA because you get more TV time, and you want to play against the better competition. You want to see if you're better, than a Aja Wilson, or or I, I just can't think of these names today, or Candace Parker. Like, they want to play against these players and see how they stack up against them. So now you have some of these foreign players coming over trying to get on WNBA teams too,
Right.
and it's exciting, and I can't wait to see more of the growth. And hopefully, as I keep praying and keep saying, we can get a WNBA team here in Philadelphia, which is still shocking to me that we still don't have one. This being a huge basketball town, like one of the original teams. This is a basketball town. We will support women's sports here in Philadelphia. When they
Absolutely.
had the ABL
Absolutely.
and Philadelphia had a team, we were going to games. We was going to those games, and we was loving it. And
Mm-hmm.
me thinking, oh, they came out with the WNBA. Yes,
Absolutely.
they
Right.
were
Right. Right. Right.
the team,
Right.
and
It's a
we didn't have
no-brainer.
a
Right.
team.
Right.
It was. I'm like, what? But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm still praying for, that we can get a WNBA team here in Philadelphia, so that I can sit back and be able to watch women's professional basketball in my backyard.
I hear you. That's what's up. I hear you. I hear you. Speaking of things that we have never seen in our lifetime, I don't ever remember or recall seeing a UConn women's basketball team ranked 15th.
Oh my god! When
That,
I
that
seen that, I thought that was a typo.
that's too much. That's too many syllables. When you
Yeah,
talk about UConn basketball, 15. That's too much syllables. You know
I
what I
thought it was
mean?
a typo. I said, "Oh, what they 5?" I said,
Um,
"Oh, I thought,
I
wow,
mean,
15."
listen, they lost three starters to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Paige Beckers, he tore ACL, so that was it's crazy. But they do have a really, very, very highly ranked recruiting class. I think it's number 4 in the nation, so
Yeah,
that should help them. Yeah, I never seen that because you looking at women's top 25. You already know. Shout out to Dawn Staley and what she's doing in South Carolina. Aaliyah Boston, she's returning for the Gamecocks. Who
yes,
added a deep recruiting class themselves. You know what I
yep,
mean? But when you talk about transfers like Tennessee, right? Um, they added Rakia Jackson from Mississippi State and Jillian Hollingshead from Georgia, right? On
mm-hmm,
top of the stuff that they already had
mm-hmm,
at Tennessee. So again, my thing is I'm just realizing that women's college basketball is so big. It's that like I want to see what those NILs look like.
um,
Because Aaliyah Boston got an NIL,
well, yeah,
right?
yeah, Aaliyah
I want
Boston,
to see what their NILs look like.
a
Not
couple
that
of them,
not that I'm clocking their money or dollars or nothing like that, but I want to see what they look like.
have a couple NIL deals, and
Uh-huh.
I love it. I
Right,
love it for them.
absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
it for them,
So
and
again, it's not like a thing where they got the men are getting these NIL situations for themselves, and the women have to wait 5 years.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the women had to
mhm,
wait 10, 15 years for a proper and decent flight and transportation back and forth to professional games.
yeah,
We ain't
yeah,
talking college. We talk about WNBA.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
So again, any upgrade and improvement that is needed and made in women's on the women's side needs to be really expeditiously put together. because you've been talking about it for so long. You've been sitting back, but all your money is going to the men's tournament. It's and that and the third, and the women have to play in the stick somewhere. No disrespect to the stick somewhere, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they
Why
didn't
the
do a
women
big
can't have the
stage,
same
you know?
exposure as the men?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
You know,
They
and now
shouldn't.
that it's happening, it's crazy because they're transferring all over the place, and it's the competition is hot and heavy. And again, you know, you got to get in where you fit in. But I definitely think that it's big. It's very, very big time. Very, very big. It's like 5 years ago, it wasn't like this.
Nah.
No,
5
and
years
5 years
ago,
from
you
now, it's
wouldn't.
going to be even crazier.
Yeah, 5 years ago, you wouldn't know if a player
Nah, nope,
transferred from one school
nope,
to another, or
nope.
that wasn't even on their mind to transfer. Or how about this? Maybe they didn't even know they had the option to do
Right.
that.
Right.
You know,
All
so
they was worried about is if they was gonna have the same coach that recruited them. That's right.
that's
That's right.
it. So now that we have NIL deals, and now that the WNBA is still making a move, it's like, well, I need to position myself where I'm seen and where I can win, so that I have a better chance of getting drafted, because it's only 2 rounds in the WNBA drafts, and it's limited space on the roster, and then right now it's 18.
As it is.
So you have to make every opportunity count. So if I can transfer from Mississippi Valley to South Carolina, I'm going to make that move. One, because I'm with a better program on a bigger platform where I have the best opportunity to be seen, so that maybe I can get drafted. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to make it to the NCAA tournament on that national TV platform, so that you can showcase your talents. So hopefully you can catch the eye of one of these GMs in the WNBA and get you on a team. That's the goal. Now it's a realistic goal now for these women to have a dream of playing professional sports in the United States. That's the goal, so that we won't have another Brittany Grinder situation where she has to travel to a foreign country to make more money. To make money for her and her family, but she has to be in the situation that she's in now.
Right. Right. Salute to Brittany Griner, man. Hope that
Yes.
everything works itself out. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like turn the attention to college basketball because I'm a college basketball dude. Syracuse is my squad. You already know. Again, I'm not looking forward to us, tearing up the world because we're in a very, very serious conference. We're in a conference with the national champions. We're in a conference that has a lot of cachet, a lot of rich names. When you talk
A
about
lot
college
of rich names, a
basketball,
lot of smoke.
a lot of rich names. Duke, North Carolina State. You know what I mean? So again, even with the other teams that's in the ACC, Pittsburgh, Florida State, Boston College. So yeah, Wake Forest. Shout out to Tim Duncan, and one of my favorite point guards ever. Nobody brings his name up. He is my guy. He's coaching somewhere now. I can't think of where he's coaching. Randolph Childress. That was my dude at Wake Forest with Tim Duncan. Nobody never talks about Randolph
That's the
Childress.
name. You know why? Because everybody was so focused on Tim.
Yeah,
Nobody
man. Tim,
remembers the guy who was passing the ball to the post.
And Randolph Childress is my guy, yo. He used to do his business at the point. But yeah, Syracuse, man, I think that last year, the 2-3 zone, because you wake up in the morning and Syracuse is gonna run the 2-3 zone. You go to sleep at night, you go to
2-3 zone.
Syracuse is gonna run the 2-3 zone. When you wake up in the morning, Jim Boeheim is the coach. You go to sleep at night, Jim Boeheim is the coach. But I think that with Joseph Girard, coming back and doing this thing, and we have a couple of transfers. You know what I mean? Syracuse is gonna go ahead.
Have Carmelo Anthony's son.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
Baby Mello
I
coming
hope
back
that
to
I hope those
Syracuse.
points and I hope those points and those jumpers transfer. Okay, you know what I mean. So again, I like that. Salute to him. I'm looking forward to us doing some things. We've had a couple of down years. I think that what we need to do is just focus on trying to maintain and be consistent. Because once we get to that ACC tournament, it's
That's
gonna be a
when
beast.
that's
It's gonna be
when
a beast. This
listen,
ain't, you know what I mean?
you know what I say. That's when basketball season starts, when you go in your conference tournament and then go into the NCAA tournament. You know, all of these games here to me, they're fun to watch, but but conference tournament time, that's when the season starts for me.
Yeah,
Right there.
and another thing that kind of like we, hitting this. I say we because I'm a Syracuse dude. Syracuse is right here. All right. Um, First losing season, 16-17. Right. 9-11 in the ACC. Like that's not Syracuse basketball right there. So again, we have to get back, and I think the storyline for the Orangemen this year is going to be how they maintain that. Because everybody, we talk Syracuse basketball, you already know the vibes. From
Yeah.
Carmelo to Ronnie Cycli and Sherman Douglas and all of those guys. You know what I mean? So again, Syracuse has a reputation. When you talk Syracuse basketball, that brings attention. You could talk about Dukes and all those other guys. But when you talk about Syracuse, they deserve to be in that conversation as well. But again, I wasn't even wearing my Syracuse stuff last year. I was like, yo, this is garbage, son. But I'm looking forward to seeing what we got to do. We got freshman Judah Mintz out of Oak Hill Academy. And he can, do his thing. He's proven that he can score at all three levels, but this level right here is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you play at Coach K Court in January, you know what I mean? It's going to be different than balling out in the travel leagues. But
Yeah.
again, man, yeah.
Yeah.
So my confidence is in my Syracuse Orange. I don't think we're gonna have two sub 500 seasons in a row. We got to tighten up on defense for real. We gave up 75 points a game last year. We don't do that.
Not in that 2-3, right?
You know what I mean? Not in the 2-3. Not in the 2-3. You know what I mean? And nobody ever talks about Syracuse having to change their defense.
Never.
Right?
You ain't, like you said, when you playing against Syracuse what to expect.
Right.
They're gonna be in their
Bring a shooter and bring somebody who can rebound. Now, Syracuse has been running a 2-3 defense. Baseball that had regular defense. They went to the shift. And they went back to
now they're going back to regular baseball.
Still running the 2-3 zone.
And this
You know
guy's
what I'm
still
saying?
2-3 zone.
Word up. Syracuse is still running the 2-3. Shout out to everybody, man, that rocks out with us, man, down in Sports Talk. We see y'all.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no doubt. And I hope y'all got your picks in and all that. Slate, I see you, Cal. He's on the international tip right now. He's representing in St. Kitts down in Sports Talk. I see you, Slate. Yeah, so that's basically it. I love my Syracuse Orange. I just think that we jumped out the window when we went to the ACC. I'm gonna say that. I said that then, and I'm saying it now.
When they went to the ACC, I said, "Oh," I said, "That's big." I said, "That's big," and I said, "That's gonna be tough for them," because they was in the Big East, right?
Yep.
And I kind of felt some type of way about them leaving the Big East. Like, damn, like y'all just gonna leave the Big East? Like, Syracuse was one of the staples of the Big East.
Yep.
And they went to the
and like it was a song. I forget who did it, performed it, but it goes, "Money changes everything." So we went from having one of the strongest, most exciting, most competitive, most consistent conferences in college basketball. Yeah. It didn't have a lot of teams, but the teams that they had were all good.
It wasn't flashy.
Right.
when you think of the Big East, it was gritty.
Yep.
These
Fights.
are these are
Yes.
games that's
Yep.
going to be like the
Yep.
final score like 67 to like 61 or something like that. The scrappy defensive games, like damn, they're about to break out a fight on the court.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and a lot of times they do.
They did, yeah.
And a lot of times they do. So
So yeah, to
again,
see
yeah.
him
So
leave, whoa,
when the money came into the situation, man, like everybody's the Biggies got the schools, I guess got too big for the conference, so they had to go to a bigger conference where they can get a lot more notoriety, some more money, of
yeah,
course. So you know how that goes. But
yeah,
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this college basketball season. I'm not ready to jump out the window and talk about any Final Fours, anything like that. We're still really, really early in the game. Yeah, I saw Carmelo's son is rocking with Syracuse, which is a dope look. Which
yeah.
is a dope look.
I think that's hot. Like
Yeah,
I was excited for him. I like seeing,
if he could bring one home like his daddy did when he was a freshman,
listen,
then we saying something.
yeah, like I like
You
seeing
know?
pro athletes' children grow up and are really good athletes.
Yeah,
Like
and that
I enjoy seeing
reminds you how old you are.
that. It does because I'm like, whoa. When I seen that, I said, wait a
It's
minute.
like whoa.
I said, Carmelo got another son. I'm
Right.
like, they're not talking about the son with Lala, right? Like he got another kid. And it was like, nah, it's him. I
That's
said,
him. Nigga.
oh
Yeah.
wow. I'm like, get out of here. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what's up. Um, before this slipped my mind, because
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, let's go.
See your Yankees sign Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
How you feel about that? Up to 51 mil,
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
3 years.
I'm not mad at it because the other available options weren't available to us. Anthony Rizzo is a productive player. He's left-handed, no pun intended. The
Mm-hmm.
porch is made for him. He's a winning player. Defensively, he's not Don Mattingly, but he's not Chico Escuela either. So, I mean, first base is settled. So now let's get with the rest of the infield and see what we're gonna do with this Aaron Judge situation and get squared away. So first base is
Well,
settled. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Steinberg said they want Judd here for life. They want him to be a Yankee for life.
Well, Steinbrenner gonna have to do one of his daddy numbers and pull out his pocketbook, the checkbook, the stash he got put away.
Yeah, huh?
You know what I mean? All of that. And you know what? I wouldn't do it if I was him. If they come with a super crazy number, like you trying to be up there with the. I mean, you can be up there with the Mike Trout. Mike Trout ain't do nothing either but get money.
Mike try and do nothing.
Mike Trout ain't do nothing either but get money.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy number. It's going to be crazy.
And again, for what?
62 home runs. 62.
And then there be Yankee fans that I know personally that would be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
They don't care about winning championships no more. They want to win the championship of the home run title. They want to win that. Yeah. They satisfied with a home run title.
That's right. Home runs is flashy. Flashy. They sell tickets.
And home runs will also have your ass flashing on your remote watching the other team in the World Series. So again, what you want? Dope or dog food? It's up to you. Like, 62 home runs is nice. It's nice on your resume, but I don't see nothing about World Series champion. I don't see nothing about that on your resume. I see home run champion. I see division winning champion, but World Series, that ain't next to your name.
Yeah, I thought when I saw that news, I said, so the Yankees moving fast. So they just signed Rizzo. I said, but I ain't hear no movement on this Aaron Judd contract yet or anybody else. I was shocked that was the first move they made. So how much money they got left?
Again, we got to figure out what DJ is going to bring to the table next year. I think we got an eye on that Japanese guy. I think we got stakes and a lot of iron. Xander Bogarts, you know what I mean? A lot of things going on. So Rizzo is the first domino to fall. You had to lock that up. You locked him up. Now let's see, how everything, progresses from now. I think the winter meetings are 2 weeks away? First week in December, the winter meetings.
Yeah.
So Buck Showalter got National League Manager of the Year.
Yeah, yep. That was gonna be my next one. The fourth one. How?
They had to give him something.
Say it again. How?
That's like hey, Yada. That's like a pineapple slice, or celery stick, or a carrot stick. Like, here you go. You didn't win nothing. You won 150,000 games and got swept at home in the playoffs. And here you go with your manager of the year. Even though Rob Thompson came in and turned the whole situation around and went to the World Series. Even though we know that the manager of the year is a regular season award. We know that. Buck Showalter had the division lead for 9,000 days and still ended up with the wild card. Rob Thompson was watching Joe Girardi send this Phillies team down the toilet like this.
Yep.
And
dumpster fire came in and changed
who's doing the voting? Those dudes that was refereeing the Eagle game last night?
Probably.
Who's voting for this?
Probably the same guys. It like when I said, and that was going to be my next thing to throw at you. I'm like, how did this guy win? They led the division the whole year. Until like the final week of the
100 games. They won 100 games.
Yes.
They won 100 games.
They led the division the whole year.
What up, Horse? What's good?
They lost it in 1 week.
And Buck Showalter got manager of the year.
And he got manager of the year.
That's hilarious to me. That's hilarious.
Manager of the year. I'm like, even I said, listen, I get it. Rob Thomas ain't going to get it. I said, but Buck, you could have gave it to Dave Roberts or I wouldn't have been mad. Like,
they didn't give it to the San Diego dude.
They could have
Jason or whatever his name. They could have gave it to him.
Yes.
You gave the National League Manager of the Year award to Buck Showalter.
Yes.
Why? Somebody answer that. Yo, Horse, why?
I need to know.
I know a lot of Mets fans out there. Somebody tell me why Buck Showalter got National League Manager. What did he do to deserve National League Manager of the Year?
He had 8 first place votes. So did Roberts.
Somebody let me know something. And shout out to you, Horse. I see you, man. Working with your squad out there. I see you. We need to get you on the show, man, so we can talk about it. We need to get you up here. All right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really bugged out.
The St. Louis Cardinals, he got 5 votes, and Rob Thompson got 2 votes. The manager of the National League champions.
And Yada, hold on. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Hold your thought. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Not even that. And again, we're talking about the National League Manager of the Year being a regular season award.
Yeah.
This dude, Rob Thompson, turned the whole he did what a manager of the year is supposed to do.
He turned the whole season around.
That's all I'm saying.
Whole season
and you see how I get down. You see how I'm living.
He turned the whole. It
is what it is. Yeah, you gotta respect that. Yeah, absolutely.
They fired Joe Girardi and they brought in Rob Thompson. We immediately went on a winning streak.
The whole thing turned around. Y'all was on the West Coast. Y'all was on the
Yes.
West Coast and y'all started
Yep.
winning some games. Yep.
Start
I
winning the
remember that.
series. Yeah.
Yep.
Turning
I
all
remember.
the way around. Turning all the way around.
Absolutely.
It was a whole different
So
team. And
I
they
don't
gave
know.
it to Buck.
I don't know, man. I
Show
don't know.
off. They gave it to Buck.
That has all the suspect leanings of a participation trophy.
Yeah. I
You know
just
what I'm saying? That has all the suspect markings of a participation trophy, yo. Word.
they could have even gave it to Bob Melvin of the San Diego Padres. And I'll be like, dang, that was well deserved because he turned their season around also.
Without Tatis, right?
Without Tatis, they made a move, bring in Soto over, and they made a run, and they beat their arch nemesis in the Dodgers, who owned them all season, just like how we beat the Braves, who owned us all season in the playoffs, and they had a decent playoff run. They had a decent season too. But you give it to a guy who won over 100 games,
101,
and
I think, to be exact.
and they led the division the whole
Season to the last
until
week.
the last week when they had to be a wild card, lose
And playing
at
against
home.
a team that was, that they were in a battle with, and they lost
At home.
at home. And they lost in the playoffs at home.
But he deserved to be manager of the year. Okay. Who am I? I don't know. I'm not a professional.
I was
You
gonna say
know,
manager of the year 1995.
I'm not a professional. I'm just a
Oh
girl
no.
that
That
watches
would no register,
baseball.
yo.
You know,
Word.
I just watch it. I just watch baseball, and what my eyes show me is that there was other managers that was more fitting of winning that award.
Yep, absolutely more deserving. Absolutely. And,
It's
and it could be shown and it could be shown and proven that they
yes.
were more deserving of it. You know what I mean? No matter
Again,
how
I
you
feel like
slice it. Who's
I
going to
feel like
defend that? Because it's a
yeah,
regular season award, man. That's when
yes,
I'm on that. I'm on it like that. It's a regular season award.
yeah,
Look
yes,
what Buck Showalter, the manager, did as opposed to Bob Thompson in Philadelphia in the regular season. This is what we're doing. We're
yeah,
keeping it in that box.
yeah. Like they was cruising the whole season. They had no adversity, nothing. They was cruising the whole time, cruising,
Until the last
cruising,
week of the season when your biggest pitcher spit up the bit, your other biggest pitcher spit up the bit,
and y'all
and
just walked home because y'all was already
and
home.
so you got your two highest price pitchers on the mound at home, pressure
Stank it up.
situation against a team that's right on your heels,
Yeah,
and you stuck at home in front of everybody.
stunk it up.
Wow. And
But
that's
he
what you got to do to
deserved.
get the manager. And that's what you do to get the National League Manager of the Year.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing to win manager of the year, you just gotta win 100+ games. That's what it is. You gotta win 100 games, and that instantly make you a good manager because you win 100 games. Excuse me, 101 games. Sorry,
Well, it is what it is, man. I just feel like, sometimes they just be doing just to be doing it, man. They need to fill up a
Yeah.
spot. But it's
What's even crazier than when you look
Mhm.
at the AL, they did it right. They gave it to Terry Francisco because the Guardians had a crazy year.
Mhm.
This was a team that
Won the division.
yes went up and
Yep.
beyond expectations, won the division, had a decent
And took
playoff
the
run.
Yankees to 5 games, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They won the division, went to the playoffs.
Right.
He's deserving of that award.
That's right. That's the opposite of deserving and
Yes.
you know what I
This
mean?
and versus this guy who just cruised through the season and then when it's money time, don't show up.
Mm.
Can't
Well,
get the win.
that says a lot to who's doing the voting
Well,
for
we
these
already know how these we know how
awards.
these
You know what I'm
baseball
saying?
voters are. Come
Right.
on, that
But I mean,
just show a result.
they try to modernize the game, and they want to make the game more palatable for today's appetite, make it more exciting, make it more bearable to watch. You can't have your both feet in different situations. You got to go one way or you got to go the other. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because you got a whole bunch of older guys that are governing the game,
yeah,
and you let these young analytical dudes tell you
yeah,
that it's better for teams to be able to shift than to play baseball the way they've been playing for 150 plus years,
yeah,
right? So now the analytical, you got departments. Whole teams have whole analytical departments,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah.
But that's the way of the world. So
Yep.
now the analytical starts to get broken down a little bit because why the fundamental, which they never went nowhere, is showing up and winning.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you have a guy like Joe Girardi who's fundamentally bankrupt, right?
Yeah.
And wants to beat you in the head with the guy in the office who never swung a bat in his life,
Never.
has to say, this is where you end up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask me, if Joe Girardi would have ended up, managing the Phillies out for the season, he would have got manager of the year. The way they voted,
Right.
yeah, he would have got manager of the year. Like somebody up there smoking some good green, man. Because I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah.
This is not it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what that is. I promise next week, my hockey people, I got y'all. I've been doing my homework behind the scenes, getting caught up on what's going on. My Rangers started out the season hot. Now they kind of like being normalized and shit. So we're gonna have some conversation. I linked up with my man from Vancouver. He's a big Canucks fan. I always wonder what the hell is a Canuck.
What is a Canuck?
You know what I mean? And that reminds me of a show that I want to do down the line. The weirdest team names. You know what I mean? He wants to come on. He wants to talk hockey. Now this
Okay.
dude, he's straight Canadian, like and all of that. So
Canadian A.
and all that. You know what I mean? That the Canadians are good. Like yeah,
All right.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Those are the conversations we have. I'm looking forward to the homie, and we talk hockey too. So it is what it is. I'm RM Des at Left-Handed. You already know the vibes. Salute, Tame. All right, they sent you off lovely today, man. Hope that everybody is doing what they do. I blacked out my joint in your honor, man, because you was a good homie. And respect to you, man. Respect to Hurricane G as well, man. We ain't gonna forget. We in the building. It's about to get cold. I hope y'all got your coats, your Timbs,
About to be
winter
cold,
ears.
man. It is.
Yes, it's
I was out
Briscoe
there
County.
earlier. I was like, when
Yes,
it's cold, when your shoulder still stays
yeah,
up,
yeah, like,
your shoulders stay up. Y'all there talking like, like,
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
your shoulders don't go down. That's when you know it's cold outside. Them
yeah,
shoulders up.
man. So again, yeah, and that the back of that neck start
That's
getting the
right.
back of that neck. You know what I mean? So yeah, so again, hope everybody's doing what they're doing. The holidays coming up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Make sure that the people around you are good. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is that time of the year where you're gonna get bombarded. But you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Recognize the real. If they only come around during the seasons like this, and you don't see them in the spring or the fall, or you know what I mean,
What it is.
and you know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's basically that, man. We chopped it up for a little bit over an hour like we do all the time. We'll be back next Tuesday. We want to talk some other stuff, man, and hopefully give y'all something, man, that y'all enjoy, man, because we have fun doing it. Don't forget y'all picks.
Don't
Know what I mean?
your picks,
Somebody bombed out this week on their lock and their upset special. I ain't gonna say no names, but
No. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
it
wonder
was.
who.
Listen,
It was horrible,
wasn't
son.
it wasn't a it wasn't a good week. Wasn't a good week, man.
It was
But
horrible.
look at this.
Uh-huh.
We will have a decent. Hopefully, we have a decent Thursday night game. Titans versus Packers.
Yeah.
That has a making of being entertaining game. We have no early game next week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this week coming up, so
Mm-hmm.
everybody still has time to get their picks in. Get your
Yep.
picks in before the Thursday night game. You want
You already
that
know.
Thursday night game to count and get those picks in before 12:30 on Sunday.
Absolutely. And Julito, I see you. I'm gonna do the podcast, man. Again, like I said, I want to get the Knicks to have a nice little sample size under their belt. I'm not like y'all. Y'all jump out the window. You win a game, they lose a game, they suck. Like I want to put together a nice little sample size so when I come on the show, I can talk about where we are and where we need to be. Because like I always said, I'm going to base my conversation about my New York Knicks when they get right, and they're not right, and not nowhere near where they're going to be. Thibodeau's not going to be the coach. And we're starting to see the beginnings of that right now. All right? So that's that. Any last words for the people, Yadabear, before we get up out of here? That's Yada over there.
Nah. Keep it
Nah?
easy. Nah, I got nothing to say. Keep it easy.
No eulogy for the O that had to go.
Oh no eulogy at all. That's ridiculousness right there. That would be ridiculous. So listen, like I said, the goal of the season is not to be undefeated. The goal is to win the Super Bowl.
I hear that.
That's the goal.
And before we get up out of here, I would be remiss. I would get all types of letters and chain mails and all that. What was the deal with the silly special? Tom Brady? That's not for you.
What did I tell you before? I told you.
That's not for you.
It's not for him. It's not for him.
No.
This is
catch you the ball. You throw you the ball. You don't catch you the ball. You throw you the ball.
Exactly.
No catch the ball. Throw you the ball.
Tell your man Leftwich to stop calling that. Don't call it ever
again.
Yeah,
man. You've been watching
too
much Doug Peterson on NFL memory specials or some shit. You've been
watching. Take that play out the playbook and burn it. Delete that. Okay,
man,
delete it and empty the trash can. Don't retrieve it. Okay, take that off the surface. Tag it.
It never happened. Do get one of those Men in Black light things and shot in the eye like that. It never happened. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get up out of here. We talk some college basketball, we talk some football, we talk some baseball, we talk some women's sports, we talk some stuff. And like we always do, we hope y'all like it. If so, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, smash it to smithereens, and then tell a friend to smash theirs too. Exactly. You know what I mean? So they won't be laughing at you because you got a smash like button. All right. And we are on Facebook, Down in Sports Talk. If you want to have a topic discussed on the show, you feel free to come on and you can rock out with us. Shout out to Rev T. You know what I mean? He was going to come on the show tonight, but he was trying to catch up to Chris Brown because Chris Brown was trying to come on the show. So, we got a whole thing with that. So Chris Brown was supposed to come on, but he couldn't make it this week. So we apologize for that. And so we are out. Until next week, Down in Sports Talk. Hope everybody has a good week and all that good stuff. Next week are we doing the show next week, Thanksgiving week? Or somebody gonna be cooking or taste testing or something? I don't know. What's happening?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll get back to you. We get back to you guys on that.
All right. We'll get back to y'all on that. But for now, don't go nowhere. But for now, we out. We'll holler at y'all later. Left-handed, Yadabear, Down in Sports Talk. Respect.
Peace.
Horse, I see you, man. We got to get you up here.